A video has become publicly available showing the firing of flares from a Russian Kh-101 cruise missile during a massive strike on Ukraine on December 29, 2023. Such a scene was unusual because it was the first recorded case in the history of warfare when a cruise missile released flares to counter air defense systems. For the first time in the war against Ukraine, the Russian Federation used modified Kh-101 missiles capable of firing flares back in November. The year was 2022, and it was a cruise missile manufactured only in the third quarter of 2022. Ukraine's air defense has already shot down these types of missiles multiple times. Since November 2022, Russian forces have started using modified Kh-101 missiles against Ukraine. The P504AP model differs from the basic Kh-101 version in two important ways. It has a jamming station, or SP504 jamming unit, to counter manpads, and it also has a guidance system based on reflection, which works on a principle similar to Western Tercom and DS-MAX systems used on American Tomahawk cruise missiles. In other words, both the visual image of the terrain and the target are used for guidance. The new optical electronic system of the missile has 3 lenses. The operating principle and composition of the Decoy launch system are unknown. Presumably, the launch is carried out when the missile enters certain air defense zones, or upon receiving a signal from the onboard integrated radar warning system, and the launch occurs at the moment of threat. There are 2 versions about the decoy's composition. If these are infrared decoys, then they are only capable of countering missiles with heat-seeking warheads, like manpads and R-60. If chaff were integrated into the decoy, then they are capable of reducing the effectiveness of radar-guided missiles. In any case, modifications of the Kh-101 missile with this onboard configuration have not been observed before, and its appearance indicates work in the field of cruise missile survivability during air defense penetration and striking multiple targets. Since after the delivery of foreign air defense systems such as IRIS-T, TSLM, and NASAMS, the mentioned missiles have only rarely been used against the population. In particular, on the morning of January 2nd, 2024, the Russians carried out a massive shelling of Ukraine. The Russian armed forces used missiles and attack drones. The Air Force warned about the activation of nearly 24 Russian Tu-95 MS aircraft. Later, it became known that Kinzhal missiles had been launched. 4 anti-radiation Kh-101 P missiles were launched from Su-35 tactical aircraft. The defenders of the Ukrainian sky destroyed 72 out of 99 launched targets.